I'm going to be training you on your new back-end system called Zone, as well as your new transaction management solution, SkySlope. I'm going to give you a brief introduction of your Zone accounts, as well as really go into depth into your new transaction management system with SkySlope. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you guys that obviously my first and last name are going to be my username. My password's already been typed in, so that way you guys did not have to see that while I was getting that set up. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Login here. This will take us straight into my Zone dashboard. There's a couple things you'll want to come in here to do, but since this is a brief introduction, the first and foremost important thing to do in this section is know where your preferences are going to live. So I'm going to click on Users. I'm going to select My Account, and I'm going to go straight into my personal preferences. Now, you'll be able to make any changes to your personal info, emergency contacts, contact information, as well as any offices you affiliate with. Your public info will be where your picture is stored, as well as any social media accounts that you may have. Programs or anything you are part of with Realty One Group, and then your billing. You'll want to come in here and make sure you update your credit card information at all times to keep that up to date. Now, another section I do want to show you is in Zone. I'm going to go back home. It's going to be where your One Store is. This is going to be your shop for where you can get cards, signs, and any Realty One Group retail merchandise. Another section is our support down here. You're able to create tickets, submit a ticket, manage any tickets you have outstanding, or even submit tickets for the transaction support system, SkySlope. Whenever you do need to enter our SkySlope account, all you do is click on Transactions. That will take us straight into your Realty One Group SkySlope homepage. Each of you will have your own homepage. We're doing agent training today, so this is what it's going to look like as an agent when you first log in. First and foremost thing I want to show you is where the support team lives within SkySlope. You're going to select Support at the very top right. This will open up a new page for you. You're able to call them, email them, start a chat, and maybe it's stormy outside or you have a ton of work to do and you just don't have time to make dinner, you can have them order you a pizza. To do any of that, all you do is click on this big blue button. Your email will already autofill in there for you because you will be logged into your own account. So you can just type in any question you have here. I'm just going to say help. I'm going to click chat with us. You can also email our support team if your question is not urgent. They will get back to you right away. But the fastest way to reach our support team is always going to be by this chat with us window. Now, our support team is located in-house. They are not outsourced. They're right here in our offices in downtown Sacramento, California. They all have come from an IT background, are SkySlope experts, and have been trained in real estate practices. Now, the great thing about our support team is that we guarantee them 100%. If they don't answer your call within 2 rings, pick up your chat within 10 seconds, or email you back within 20 minutes, we will send you a $5 Starbucks gift card. Looks like we have Sierra on the line. She says, hello, how may I help you today? I'm just going to say, what did you have for lunch? I'm just going to send that out. Now, another great option with our support team is you have the ability to have them call you. You click on Call Me. They will call you on your phone, work phone, cell phone, whatever it is that you need, or you can have them call you through your computer just like we're speaking now. If you're just tired of talking or texting or typing out any of your questions and you just want to talk to a real person, you're able to do that through that button. Let's see. She says, I have not had lunch yet, but I'm planning on getting a cheeseburger. I'm going to say, yum. Thank you, because I know she has actual clients she's helping with real questions, not what she's having for lunch. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you guys is the entire system. We're going to go back into our SkySlope account. I'm going to show you where your preferences within SkySlope will live. You'll click on your name. My name for today's training is going to be A-Team Agent. You're going to select My Account. You're going to be taken into your personal information page. Now, your first name, last name, and email ID will already be filled out for you guys. So just make sure that you have a phone number in here so that way any chats that you're on with Sierra or any one of our wonderful support team, they're able to give you a call right away if it gets disconnected. Also, if you work with a TC or an assistant, you'll want to make sure that you have their alternate email ID right here so that way all notifications from the system get sent to you. You'll just click Submit to save any of those changes. We'll move forward to our notification section. You have listing, transaction, and task email notifications that can be sent out and customized through the system. All you do is just check whatever it is that you want. You can check all of these to begin with and see how all those emails feel. Once you kind of know what you want, you can come in here and uncheck as many as you want. Just play around and fill that out. Click Submit to save those changes. Signature. You guys already use a professional signature at the bottom of your email, so just go ahead, copy that over, paste it in here, so that way all email correspondence out of the system looks just as professional. We're going to go back home. I'm able to use this home button right here, or I can click on my Realty One group. I'm going to select this because this actually doubles as a hyperlink, so anywhere I am in SkySlope, I can always be taken back home. Now, this might be a lot to learn all in one day, but I want to let you guys know that there's only 3 steps you need to know. The first is how to enter and verify your property data. You guys already do that, so it's just making sure you get it into the system. Number 2 is entering in your contact information. Again, it's something you guys already do, so just go in here, enter that information in to be done with step 2. And the third step is turning in your documents. Get those in so that you can get paid faster. I kind of think of this whole system similar to getting my iPhone or my Android. I get really excited to have a new phone. I unwrap it, I open up the box, and I take the phone out. I turn it on, and the first thing I realize is, wow, there is a ton of buttons. What am I supposed to do with all of these? Well, the first few things I only need to know is how to text, how to email, and how to make a phone call. Everything else are just awesome tips and tricks. So this system is exactly the same. Those 3 steps, and you're done. Everything else I'm going to show you today are awesome tips and tricks within the system. So I'm going to come in here. I had a client. He gave me his exclusive right to sell. Met him for coffee earlier this past week. So I'm going to come in here and click on Create Listing. I am going to get a pop-up that's going to allow me to enter in an address. I'm just going to say 11017. There it is. Sunbrook Lane, Rancho Cordova. Now this pop-up actually is powered by Google, so it's also based on your geographical location. So anytime that you're searching in here, it's going to pull information from around you. So I'm going to select that one. It's going to autofill some of these fields in for me, like my street number, my street name, and my city and zip. Now anything in red that you see on this page will be a requirement. Anything in black is an optional field. So you want to go in here and make sure you fill everything in. That will be your step 1 of entering and verifying your property data information. Your listing agent will always default to yourself if you're in your own account as an agent. If you're a TC on the line, this will actually be a drop-down menu that allows you to select between the agents you're helping. The type will be the type of listing this represents. This is going to directly tie in with your checklist. Now, our training today here is only going to be listing as an option, but on your side between your offices, you might have your commercial lease, commercial listing, a listing vacant land, lot, differentiating checklists. So I'm just going to select listing. I'm going to enter a list price, $965, and enter in a date, 2008. Source, how I obtained this listing. I said previously that I've worked with this customer before, so I'm going to select previous customer. Now, if I had a different option, I can select any of these in here. If I don't see my option, I can always select other and type that in. But I'm just going to select previous customer because that's what I had originally said. I'm going to enter in my listing commission. I'm going to say it's an even 6% split. So I'm just going to type in 3% on the listing side and 3% on the sales side. My listing date, I have this drop-down calendar right here. I can select any date I need. I'm going to say 3 months from now. My client wants to get this off of his hands and buy another property. So once I've made sure everything is entered in, I'm going to select Next. The next thing I'm going to do, it's going to take me into my step 2, entering my seller's first and last name. Now, if I've never worked with my sellers or this is the first time I'm entering in them into our system, then I want to manually enter their information in. Now, once I have worked with them within the system, I can just search them right here at the top, and they'll directly tie that in. I always want to encourage you guys to enter in that email address so that way if you ever need to send your client a document to get signed electronically or just send them an email just to let them know what's going on with their property, you're able to do so. Once you get that information in, you click on Save. Something else that we're going to encourage here is entering in that address. That way, if you ever want to send your clients a thank you card, a little package, a little note, you have that available to you on hand at all times. If Liam was working with his fiancee Miley or his brother Chris, he can always come in here, click on Add New, and enter their information right there. I'm going to click Submit because I am all done. I've done my step 2. That's it. Now this takes me directly into my third step, turning in my documents. Now anything in red on this page is going to be required. Anything in blue will be if applicable. There's a couple different ways to get documents in here. The fan favorite way is going to be this property specific email address. I'm going to copy that over. I'm going to go into my personal Gmail account, and here's that email from Liam. Here's his email, here's his picture, and here's that packet. I'm just going to click on forward, enter in that email address, and I'm going to click on send. That's it. That's all I had to do. I no longer have to download this and then re-upload it. It's going to be fully done for me and brought directly into my property file. I'm going to go back into my SkySlope account. Now remember, this is always going to be the street name followed by the street number at skyslope.com. Now I'm going to show you where this goes. It's going to go into our Documents tab. Before it comes in there, I do want to point out a couple things in this section. This is going to be similar to your virtual filing cabinet. You can get as many documents as you want in here. There's no storage limit. You can put JPEGs, Excel documents, Word documents, zip files, anything at all that you want. You also have the ability to bulk upload your documents by clicking Upload Documents. You're able to search your documents on your computer. You can upload as many as you need or as few as you would like. So I'm going to refresh this. Oh, it's almost in here. Let's give it a quick second. Let's see now. There it is. Here is that listing packet that I just forwarded in. Now, there's 3 documents I need out of that packet that are part of my checklist. So what I'm going to do is click on Split. I'm going to be able to pull those 3 documents out, but still keep that entire packet intact. I'm able to preview my document on the right-hand side and rename it on the left. I'm just going to start typing in listing, LIS. Now, notice that this is a requirement on my checklist because it's going to let me know anything that's part of my checklist. I'll click on that. It will auto-fill in for me, and I'll just use these arrows to see how many pages it is. Page 1 to page 8. I'm going to start typing in my next one. Agency agreement. So I'll just start typing in A. It's going to pull anything on my checklist that has the letter A in it. It looks like here's my agency agreement. I'm just going to select that one. 9 to 11. Now, the next one I need is my seller's advisory. Again, I'll start typing that in. Here's my requirement. And that's just 1 page. So now I've completed this. If I wanted to continue splitting these documents, I would have that ability. I can split up to 30 documents. I'll click on Split and Assign. Now the system will auto-recognize that hard work that you just did, and it'll tell you how many items were split and assigned to the checklist for me. I'm going to select OK. It will take me back into my checklist where the things that were once in red for in review that I needed to turn in are now in yellow for in review. I'm done. I've turned in my documents. It's now my broker's turn to go in and review those. Let me know what's needed, what's still missing, if everything looks okay, so I can get finished and get paid. You've completed everything you needed to do in SkySlope. Everything else I'm going to show you from here on out are awesome tips and tricks within the system. So let's get started with some of those. You're able to preview your document by hovering over that paperclip, like this. You're also able to remove that document by clicking on the red X, if in case you uploaded the wrong document or attached a different packet. Now, you're probably wondering, what will it look like when my broker reviews my documents? Will I get notified? Yes, you will. You will get an email that looks similar to this. I'm going to go to my personal Gmail account. Here's my broker Bob email. He's my broker. For example, he's going to say below is the most current state of your checklist. Click here to log into SkySlope and update any remaining requirements. Now I'm able to see that my listing agreement was actually rejected. And the reason I know that because it says incomplete and it is in purple. It also has a comment here that I'm able to see why my broker rejected it. My agency disclosure and seller's advisory were accepted, so they now turned to green to be completed. So I'll go back in here. Just like you noticed that my broker was able to use a comment section, you also have the ability to write comments to your admins or your brokers to let them know what is going on with your file. If this was a required document, I can say not needed, property built after 1968. Now click Save. That's going to be similar to a virtual sticky note. When you slap those on papers, this is the same concept. It's just that it's all virtual. Now my admin will be able to come in here and see that I've done that. Another option that you have in this checklist is this accepted contract button. This will appear for you when you've turned in all required documents. Once they're all in review, you're able to accept contracts on these listings so you can convert them over into transactions. I'm going to show you another place to do that so that way you don't always have to come straight into that file. Before I show you that, I'm going to continue on with creating our listing. I'm going to show you a couple neat features within our Documents tab. The first one is this assigned column right here. Now, obviously, listings don't only have 4, 5, 6 documents. Sometimes they have closer to 20, 40, 50, depending on what you're putting in here. So to distinguish and organize this section, we have this assigned column to let you know what's already been added to the checklist, when it was added, and where on the checklist this lives. Another option in here is the Share Docs tool right here. I'm able to select the documents I need. Sorry about that. I'm able to select the documents I need. Click on Share Docs. I can name it anything I want. I'm just going to say example. I can create this link. I'm going to be able to either email it out to my agent on the other side, escrow officer, anyone that may need access to some of these documents, my buyers, my sellers, anyone like that. I can also put this on my social media account. If I have a Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, if I'm using that in order to share my listings, I can just copy that in there. They will be able to open that up if these were pictures of my file and maybe my property profile, my MLS printout. I can put that all in here, and anyone who opens that will be able to say that, see those pictures, look at that MLS printout, and if they're interested, they can contact me because my information will be right here. But what will be also great is that SkySlope's going to capture that data for you as well, because it's going to have them log in to view those pictures, that MLS printout. If it's your buyers, it's going to have them log in to make sure that you've sent it to the right person. Another option in here is DigiSign. You're able to send these documents out for electronic signature within the platform. You just single-click that property file, the property document you need. You go to DigiSign, and it'll automatically take you into our digital signature platform called our own DigiSign. Now, I did say SkySlope will capture all that information for you. It's all going to live within this log section. This is going to be your virtual to-do list within this, or your virtual footprint within the system. Anything you do here, any bundles that are created, anytime they're viewed, any emails, documents assigned or added, any notes left for your broker or from your broker to yourself will all be stored in this section. You're also able to see text messages that go directly in here. So that way you're able to notate where anything is. If it's an email, you can click on it. You can actually see the original email as well as any attachments that were added from the beginning. You also will be able to do the same thing for your text messages. We highly encourage you guys to CC this property-specific email address between all correspondence between you and your client. Make sure your client also remembers to CC it and reply all on this as well. You can also paste this information on your phone. If you want to text your clients, you can add that information in there, and that can be another recipient on your group message, and all text messages will come back into this file. Your task section will be your virtual to-do list within the system. You're able to come in here, create a new task, name it anything you want, place for sale sign. I'm going to have it due 1 day after my listing date. I'm going to save it because I need to get this out there quick. Now, this actually syncs up with my iCalendar, Google Calendar, and Outlook Calendar. Once I'm done, I can just come in here, check it off, and now I'm done with my completed task. That wraps up the listing section. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to send them over in our questions box so I can answer them at the end of our training. I'm going to go back home. Now I'm going to go into your Manage Listings section. This is where you're going to be able to go in and manage your listings. You're able to do two things in this section. You can either withdraw or accept contract on these listings. You're all very successful agents, so you're probably not going to be withdrawing very much, but in the few cases that you might have to, all you do is come in here, single click that property file, and click Withdraw Listing. You're going to get a pop-up. You can enter a reason why, expired, and click Submit. It's going to drag it down to this Canceled Listings Pending Approval, where your admin will go in and approve your cancellation. Now, what you guys will be doing mostly of in this section is going to be accepting contract on these listings. All you do, again, it's the same process. Single click that property file, click on Accepted Contract. It's going to convert this listing into a transaction. Now, this will look exactly the same as the listing side. We'll go through those same first three steps. I'm not going to bore you guys and sit here and refill all of this out for you, so I'm going to show you one that's been fully completed already. So I'll go back home. We'll go to Create Transaction is where you'll want to click on if you're just representing the buy side of things. We'll go to Manage Transaction. Now there's only one thing that you guys will be able to do, and that's going to be canceling transactions whenever a deal has gone dead or the contract went bad. All you have to do is single click that property file, click on Cancel Transaction. It will take you the same steps that it just did on the listing side. Another section in here that is different is going to be this Close Transactions to be archived. Now your admins will be the only ones that have the ability to close out your files. If they come down to this section, that means that they might be missing something. So you want to make sure if it's any documents that you have to turn those in and get those completed, so that way they can archive that transaction and get you paid out. Now, if you ever need to make changes to a listing or a transaction, all you'll do is double click to enter the file. I wanted to show you a completed file. Here it is. Again, it looks the same exact way, the listing side, just that there's different key fields. Closing date, acceptance date, a sale price, which will be different from your listing price, whether your source was an office lead or not, as well as the MLS. The type will be right here. You can change this to, if you're just representing the sale side of things, you'll want to make sure that this is a sale. If this is a converted transaction or converted listing and I'm only representing the seller, then I want to make sure this says listing sold. If I have both the listing and sale, I would change it to that, or if this was just a referral. My checklist type, I want to make sure I select the right one. Once I fill all that in, I'll move on to my second step, which is getting my contacts in here. Again, this is a much more extensive side than that listing that we previously saw. You have your seller, landlord, your purchaser and tenant, title, escrow, or attorney, and agent representing the other side. You have lender, home warranty, and miscellaneous contact fields available to you as well. Once I'm done, I'll just click Submit to save those. This will bring us straight into my commissions. Now you'll want to come in here and make sure the sale price is correct, the listing commission is written out correctly in here, as well as if you're working with the TC, make sure their information is in there. So when your accounting team comes in here, takes this number, you want to make sure it's correct information. Checklist. This is going to look just like the listing side, just that it's going to have a different breakdown. You have your sales documentation, disclosures, and closing documents. If this is a converted listing, then you are going to be able to still preview and hold on to your listing checklist in this section. Again, anything in red will be required. This is where you'll come in and do your step 3 of turning in your documents. Another key difference between your transaction and your listing is going to be this transaction summary. Think of this as your snapshot within that file. You're able to see your first 3 tabs. So I'm going to save this on my computer. I'm going to open it up for you guys. Here it is. I'm able to see everything on my list transaction info screen right here under details. Who it belongs to, what office, what type of type, the property, the source, listing price, listing expiration date. Any information that's on that first tab will be in this section. All of my contact information as well as my commission. So I'm going to go back home. That's going to wrap up how to manage our listings and what a completed transaction will look like for you. This next section right here, I'm going to go rather quickly, and we're going to end with our digital signature tool, DigiSign. Incomplete checklist. This is a great aid for you as agents to come in here and to know what you need to work on. Anything in here, you'll be able to notate that it has missing things. It has missing documents. You want to make sure what's missing, get those turned in so you can get paid. Cancel contracts. This is where all your dead deals will go to once your admin approves your cancellation. They'll be separated by your listings and your transactions. Access archives. We'll come into this one. This is going to be where all your closed deals will come to. You'll be able to do two things in here. You can either download all documents, including any of the emails in the log section, or you can download just your checklist documents. Each one is going to produce a zip file, which you're able to download, give to your client through a thumb drive or an email, or keep for your own record keeping. Now, SkySlope will hold these files for up to 7 years, depending on your state requirements. We'll go back home. Tasks and reminders. This is where you'll come in and you'll sync up any of the tasks that you set up in any of the files. You'll also be able to create templates and reminders in this section as well. You're able to see all your tasks for any of the profiles that you have all on one page. Working documents. All of you are going to have your own personal docs section. It's going to be private storage that no one else will have access to. Think of it similar to Dropbox. It's unlimited storage. You can place anything in here, vacation photos, anything at all, with the intention being that you're going to be putting in documents prior to having a file in SkySlope. You can organize it by subfolders as well by clicking on this button. Office docs. This is where your office admins will place any documents that you as a whole company need to have access to. Last but not least, we're going to end with our digital signature tool, DigiSign. We're going to go in there. Now, DigiSign is free for all of you to use for the first 3 months. There may be a fee involved after those 3 months. Your corporate office will be the people to go to ask. Now, you're going to go into DigiSign homepage. The first page it's going to show you is your completed section. This is all your completed documents. Anything that's been fully executed, you can always reference back in this section. We're going to create a new envelope. I mentioned earlier that DigiSign and SkySlope are fully integrated. So anytime you create a document within DigiSign, you need to say where it belongs. If it has no property, that's okay. Once that document's been fully executed, it's going to go back into your working document section under personal docs. If it does, we're going to use the example of the property file I created today. Here it is. My broker actually rejected my listing agreement, so I need to get that signed. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to click listing agreement. Now, I have the ability to choose a template. Templates are a feature that we have within DigiSign that allow you to save the signature blocks, initial blocks, date and time stamps for the documents you send out most frequently. I'm not going to choose one today, so I'm just going to click on Next. I'm going to select myself and my seller. My seller information is already entered in this section because I pulled it from that property file. Now we can set up a rule that Liam could only sign after I had signed. To do that, I can just click on Add Signer Group. I can add as many groups as I need depending on how many people are signing the document, and I would just drag them to where they need to go. But for today, Liam and I are both going to sign first. I can also place someone under receives a copy. This will give them the ability to get a document fully executed once everybody has signed, sent to their email. If I need to add someone, I can always just click New Recipient. Now your document will already filled out within your forms company. You'll come in here and either get a signature, an initial, a date, sign, date and time, writable, read-only, full name, or checkbox field. There's a lot of options in there. So I'm going to go back down to my 8th page because that's where my broker said I was missing a signature. I'm going to just click on signature. I'm going to click on where I want it on the document. Here it is. I'm going to click on for Liam so that way Liam can also sign this. Now I'm going to come down to who signs here and switch it to Liam so he has the ability. We're going to have Liam also put his date in there. I'm going to scroll back up and click send. Please sign and click send for signature. Now, the great thing about the system is that it's going to give me the ability to sign now. I no longer have to wait for an email just to get my tasks done. I can get it done right here, right now within that platform. I'll click sign now. I'll select my signature style and I'll click on I agree. I either can scroll through the document or click on start so it takes me straight where I need to go. Since I'm the agent, I know exactly what this says, so I'm just going to get my signature done and submit that document. My document is now going to be in this section because it's still waiting on someone to sign. I'm also able to use these 4 tools over here. I can create a template if I didn't create one previously. I can edit or resend the envelope. I can also check the history of it or void it out. Now I'm going to switch pages on you guys. I'm going to show you what it looks like for your client to come in and sign this document. Go to my personal Gmail account. Here it is. I'm able to see my own logo right here, the subject of my email. It's going to come from you, so if they ever need to send you an email back, they can just click reply and it will go straight to your email that's on file. And here's that message. I'll click on sign now. He's going to select a signature style. That's his favorite. Agree to those consumer disclosures and just go to next. We'll go all the way down. That date box will autofill for me, so he just needs to click on that. He can either return to the document if he wants to continue reading it, or he can just submit to call it to be done with it. The change of it in here is that your client will actually be able to download the document right away. You as the agent will also receive an email at this time letting you know that everyone in your party has signed the document and it is fully completed to alert you to let you know that this has been done. So I'm going to go back into my SkySlope account. I'm going to go back in there because like I said, everything in SkySlope is fully integrated between DigiSign and SkySlope. So when I told it where it belongs, it's actually going to use that document and it's going to place it back in my Documents tab. I'm going to go to Documents. Here it is. Here's that listing agreement. It's going to say DigiSign at the end of it. That's how I know that that is my completed document. So I'm going to go to my checklist. I'm going to remove my old document and I'm going to attach the new one by directly selecting it from my Documents tab. Here it is. I'm going to assign that one. Now I'm done. I turned in that document that was wrong. Now again, it's my broker's turn to do it. Thank you guys so much for joining me. That's going to wrap up our training today. We're going to go back home. I'm going to take questions at this time, but if you don't have any, please feel free to go ahead and leave for the day. Thank you again and happy sky sloping.